なんのよ。
私兄上様の第二夫人あたりを考えておりますので。
どうしてそうなる。こら、人前なんだからやめなさい。ああ、なるほど。これはきっと子供によくあるあれだ。
将来はお兄ちゃんと結婚するもん。
じきにこう。
は、兄貴とかキモいんですけど。
Obviously, my theory was off the mark, but damn, your boy was close too. You know what I mean? When Iris first got introduced, my first thought here, based on her actions, based on her power, and based on everything that happened was, oh, this was the Demon Lord's daughter. Like that was my first thought. I was like, oh, she is definitely like the Demon Lord's like spawn and everything. Little did I know that she would actually end up being the Demon Lord themselves. Now, the thing that skews my thought process a little bit about it is obviously she's a female character. And at least from Flay's memories, it seems that the Demon Lord before was male. But the thing that throws it off is Irisphilia, right? It's a very it's a very ladylike name, and it fits our current character really well. And I'm glad that she continued to have her name. I'm also glad that her and Hart's initial story shares some similarities where as a baby, it sounds like Irisphilia decided to talk as well too, which is obviously very off-putting to any normal person when a baby just full on speaks, right? So I love that her backstory was filled with a lot of turmoil and stuff, but that's my main kind of coinkydink point is like, was the Demon Lord prior potentially female too, and the way that Flay's memory is being depicted to us is just a little bit skewed. If not, completely okay, but then the opposite side of that is the fact that she went from being a male demon lord and got reincarnated again into this world with being a now female character, which I know is a lot of mental gymnastics for anybody. But regardless, she is a very well-endowed female now too, whose smile, based on Hart's words, rival Charles' smile as well too. Our boy was almost mystified and almost fell in love on the spot. Overall, though, this episode is really good. I like how Hart finally ran into his two siblings. Obviously, they don't know specifically that they're siblings, but regardless, he ran into his two siblings, and they're vying for his love, essentially is what they're doing. So he now has a really, a brother who, looks up to him or whatever, and you have a sister who is, I guess, potentially in love with Hart as well, too. Then we had the professor vying for his time and love as well, too, and she just really wants to be able to use him and everything else. And then we had Iris being thrown into the mix there too. And I like how the moment Iris came into play, it turned on Charles' spidey sense. Essentially, Charles is so close to her brother at this point that she's able to sense when like things go awry, essentially. And I like how in the episode, it made me actually really chuckle and laugh. I like how when she saw him, she was like, "You're the reason. You're the reason." It wasn't a girlfriend, it was a friend. You're the reason that my brother's sense went off. And I thought that was, hilarious as well too. And the other thing that I really laughed at is when Charles was like, "I know my brother can have 5 or 10 girlfriends or whatever." She's like, "But remember, I have to be the second wife." And I like how in that moment too, Hart was like, "Oh, this is that thing that, the younger sisters typically do when they're like, oh, I want to marry the brother when I get old." And then she gets older and she's like, she does a snicker. I was like, oh my God, I laughed so hard at that. I don't really think that's what's going on here. I legitimately think that, in Charles' like life planning that she has going on, because she's extremely smart and talented, and it's already confirmed that her powers are locked away essentially, but her powers regardless are still crazy, and eventually they can rival, if not exceed, the queen. I really think that regardless of how Hart feels about it, like she's going to control the narrative and what ends up happening to our boy. And I love that as well, too, because Charles definitely, to me at least, on a personal level, she is definitely the bright side or the, really highlight of the show. To me, I think, Flay and then Charles are like the two, that I love a lot. Charles gives me all the the funny, cute moments, and then Flay gives us all just the general funny moments of the show, and they both keep the show really interesting as well too. And then obviously, I think if you're gonna add one more quirk in there, I think his clone is also hilarious as well too. So we have these three things that are the pillars of the show, kind of keeping the surrounding of it going. As you know, sometimes things get a little bit stale and stuff. So definitely, you know, really enjoyed this episode in specific, and I love everything that happened this episode. So he got his first friend, so happens to be the Demon Lord, which he's impersonating to be. So I think that is a whole funny scenario as it is. And I wonder what Iris's plan is besides just infiltrating the humans and being one of them and finally living a part of their dream, you know, coming to fruition kind of thing. But I wonder like what their long-term goal is and, you know, reigniting the demons and all this other stuff. So anyways, I hope we find out more. But at the end of it, I think we have, let me see. This was episode 10. Whoa, excuse me, guys. We have 11. Also, if you stayed here, if you're still here, like, just had breakfast, so it was pretty damn good. We still have episode 11 and episode 12, so. All right, my friends. From me to you, to your boy, to the boys and girls, y'all have a great rest of your weekend, work week, school week, being a lazy bum, doing nothing, you know. All of those are qualified things, so have a great one. Peace out.